So no need to feel overwhelmed to look at the whole thing. They're just options for different equipment choices. We're going to start with 3 times through, 5 per side. I said either step ups, so hence my little step stool over there, or lunge steps. So that's an or, all right? And then we have, oh, okay, see you later, alligator. And then we have 5 per side, bear crawl position. I said kettlebell, but it could be a dumbbell. Pull throughs. I'll demonstrate those, but we've done those before. And then 5 per side. It says, again, it says kettlebell. This could be a dumbbell. Turkish sit-ups or weighted sit-ups. And I'm going to explain both. So it's one of those, we're weighting a sit-up in some capacity. Okay. That's kind of part 1. Okay. Part B, whatever the lifting portion, is some single leg deadlifts. We're doing 5 sets of 6 per side. If you can increase weight per set, cool. If you don't have that option, that's okay. You can either add increased range of motion, or find another variation that's working for you today. Find a challenging variation where 6 per leg is going to work out for you. And then finishing off with some fire hydrants, offset, reverse lunge step just means we're carrying a dumbbell in a specific fashion, and then alternating weighted dead bugs. So a lot of words, but not that scary, I don't think, anyway. So let's have you all start with some cat-cows. We'll just kind of warm our way up into this.
Oh, I forgot to mention earlier, some of the others already know. I tripped and fell during my run over the weekend. I have a skinned knee and a little puffy ankle, uh, but so I will be modifying if anything hurts.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything I mean, obviously besides sitting on your knee, or can you stand on that puffy ankle right now?
I can stand, yeah. I can't bend it very well, so yeah.
Fine. Respect that. I can respect that range of motion. So just respect whatever that ankle's saying. Max is all like, hey, Dad. Hi.
Practice very much
Oh, and Min's coming in. Min's like, oh, wait, we can't.
not to be outdone.
Excuse me. If there's one cattail, there must be another. I feel like you need the sweatshirt, Joseph. I feel like you deserve. I should give this to you now. uh, and cat cows. I wanted to, but we ended up getting one. That's okay. She's worth it. After that, we'll go into your bird dogs next. If you need to adjust a reset, I'm trying to think about this. We could do dead bugs instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. So you're not, putting it on a bruised knee. That's feel nice. Take your time. Yeah. Okay, let's do our 90-90s. So we're seated, feet are shoulder-ish width apart. You can lean back if you want a little help. Okay. Leave a little gap between the top heel and the bottom knee. My opposite hip is off the ground. This should be fairly gentle. Okay, not looking for anything crazy, and I don't need the opposite sit bone down. Could knee tends to come up. That's not the goal of this exercise. Alrighty, and let's go ahead and finish off with some inchworms. So we can modify these if we need to here, but if you feel so inclined, you're gonna touch your toes. Reach out to the floor in front of you. You can bend your knees. Go ahead, walk out. Or lay down. Back up. Watch your hands. Back to your feet. I like to stand up, but standing up is not a requirement between the reps. If you get dizzy at any point, go ahead, just gently sit down. Or if you know for a fact you get dizzy, let's just do some push-ups instead. No severe change of direction. Doing 5 of these. You may come back to standing. Okay, we're gonna continue with arm circles next. So I'm doing this kneeling. I just need enough room where my arms can move about without touching anything, basically. So kneeling, standing, that's gonna depend on arm length. But basically, we're gonna have our thumbs, T-shape, right? Starting small, gradually making those circles as big as each shoulder will permit. Keep your elbows straight. It's approximately 10, if I count correctly. Opposite direction, same thing. Always start little small circles. Speed is not necessarily of the essence. We're just warming up the shoulder joint. Good. Good. Let's go forward and back. Or the order of operations. If you do this, we've done this plenty of times by now. If you have a different order, do that. But this is the one I do. Forward and back. This one's nice and easy. Let's go. Give us a hug. And then let's go ahead and do thumbs down. This guy. Again, kind of whatever those individually your shoulders can tolerate. Good. And then 10-ish, the opposite direction. Oh, that pop was my shoulder, but nothing else. Just sounded bad if you heard that. Let's go ahead. So I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've wanted to, if possible, get you guys stepping up on something. I realize that's not an option for everybody, right? Whether it's no room, you don't have bench is perfect. We don't all have a bench to step on. I have a tiny step stool. If you have a straight dining set, whatever. So if it's not an option, don't worry about it. We'll just stick with lunge steps. Okay. So it's not like you have to do anything crazy here. These can be weighted. If weight is too distracting, don't. Okay. If I were in a gym, I'd probably go significantly higher here, but that's okay. We can make this work. So you're gonna potentially take your step, dining set, whatever you got going on. Okay, you're gonna step on it, right? Right. And we have 5%. So I'm gonna stick with my left leg, right? If I want to add weight, I can have dumbbells on my hands, whatever. Okay, nothing crazy. Otherwise, we're gonna do 5 lunges per side. Pretty straightforward there. Just make sure what you're stepping on is sturdy. Yeah, as in you trust it not to do anything silly. Yeah, and it goes without saying, the higher the object, the more challenging the object, right? So if you have a lower object, you want to add a little weight, great. If you have a higher one, we can just go without. Otherwise, we can just go good old-fashioned lunge steps, Maxine, if we don't need to.
I actually have a step, but it's outside. Like it's concrete step up to my house. So I'm gonna go outside. Okay.
Yeah.
So just
See, buddy.
5 per side, and then how many sets?
We're doing this 3 times, but you can come back in.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. Nice work.
And she's gone. She went out for coffee.
Concrete step, back in house, go to coffee. I wouldn't be upset with that plan. Just saying. That seems like not a bad plan. After you've done your 5 per side step ups, and feel free to maneuver. I know some of us have limited space, maneuvering things around. So especially with this guy, he can just move it over. No big deal. We then have 5 per side bear plank or bear crawl position pull throughs. It says kettlebell. Again, the actual object is not important. We're just moving something. Okay. So we're going to be in a tabletop position. And then this is where I am going to press through my hands. Sorry, reset the knees again. In fact, you can just go to plank shape. We need to adjust for the not in knees position. Okay. But as written, it's meant to be pushing through the hands, push through the feet if possible. You elevate the knees, reach across. 1, reach across. 2, great, so on and so forth. We get to 10 total reps. This might just be, and so this can be modified to a full plank position for anyone who needs to do so. Otherwise, keep those knees nice and close to the ground without touching the ground, which is kind of the key to this whole thing. 5 per side or 10 total, however you want to think about that one. Okay. I'm going to start with the simpler variation of this final piece. We'll wait till everyone to make sure we're all here. But this next piece is 5 per side Turkish sit-ups or 10 weighted sit-ups. So the weighted sit-up is a simpler variation. And that is where we have a weight in hand. Yeah. You can have the weight option 1, just kind of close to the chest. Okay. I do sit up. Okay, so it's kind of staying nice and close to me. Option 2, a little harder, but not impossible. I only have 10 pounds here, so it's relatively light. This weight is like a top of bench press. My wrist is over my shoulder. And as I sit up, you might lose the top of the dumbbell here, but it's going to then be over my head. Right? You can't see it, but it is over my head. I'll come back down. Okay. So that is the weighted sit up variation. For anyone who's on a Turkish get up, you know what I'm talking about. We're basically going to be doing, let's see, this in here. This is great, but a bit complicated. So bear with me for the next 30 seconds. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to laying down. I'm going to put the dumbbell in my right hand. My right knee is going to be bent. My left leg and arm are to the side. And I'm looking at my dumbbell the entire time. So the wrist remains over my shoulder. I'm going to lean to my left, looking at my dumbbell. You can't see it, but it's there. Here, here, here. All right. So this is not a up and down. This is I'm going left and then up. Okay. So if that suits you, great. It's a little more shoulder stability biased. And you'll need a much smaller weight. Either way, we're doing 5 per side on Turkish sit-ups if you're going the sideways variation. Or we need to keep it simple. Let's do 10 weighted sit-ups. Yeah, good.
I just want to point out that Maxine did go out for coffee. See?
Not go out for coffee.
She's like, did not. I saw her. She came back.
I did. And now I'm down here doing this.
If you're just laying there, I would fully respect that too, because we would know the difference. I know you're not. Beautiful work, y'all. So after you've done either your 5 per side Turkish sit-ups or 10 weighted sit-ups, then you're gonna go right back to those step ups, 5 per side, or lunge steps, 5 per side. Weight on this, on either, are both optional. Good. You missed it, Meg. Maxine went out for coffee again. Well, that means she went to her concrete step outside.
Oat milk cortado, please, madame.
Oh, she already left. Orders have been taken.
I missed the order window.
Good. After your 5 per side step ups or 5 per side lunges, lunge steps, you have the 10 total. Bear plank or bear crawl position pull throughs. Again, modifying to a plank is fine if you need to do so, like a full plank position or an elevated plank position. For anyone who needs to, you can also elevate yourself and go into a forearm plank to do this. If your wrists are not having this position, not liking it very much. We're doing this a total of 3 times. You guys are in the middle of your second set. And you have your 5 sit-ups.
Nothing to see here, just Eddie.
I thought it was 5 per side or 10 total.
That's correct. Yes. 10 total. I was about to correct for 10 total for the sit-ups. Yes.
That's good because I just did 10.
Yeah, the per side is the switching arms, right? Because you end up doing 10 sit-ups total anyway. We're just switching hands. If you have 2 hands on one dumbbell, 10 total. Those lunge steps, if you're doing them, can be done in forward, stepping forward, or stepping backwards. You can decide. If we're staying in the directional, forward makes more sense directionally, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Nice work. Making your way through the third and final set. Everybody's still busy working, but everyone was very impressed by our blue flower. Oh, there she is. So she's gone into the habit. So we feed her every morning. We hand feed her now. So she sits.
And waits.
Yep. Every time she sees a stool, she's like, oh, this is for me to then get closer to you. So you can we hand feed her now, as you do.
As you do.
Well, she has a plastic bowl, which is a problem.
Uh,
So we've stopped using it, but she has no bowl now. And so now we hand feed her. And it's a whole to do. It's mutually enjoyed by all parties. Don't worry. Okay, my friends. So now we have 5 sets, 5 rounds, however you want to think about this, of 6 per side. Single leg deadlifts. These can be leg lifted or not lifted. And this is one of those things where we can either increase weight across sets, doesn't mean across every set, or it could be increasing your range of motion, meaning you can start to bend your knee to get closer to the ground. Okay, so demonstrate what I mean by that. So I'll keep this as a hips down frame. Instead of my deadlift looking something like, I'm with my foot down here. My deadlift, so looking something like this, where I am very much in a Romanian deadlift position where I'm not going any farther with the knee bend. My weight's here. Okay, and coming back up, I can start to bend the knee and sit down, right? So that's what you would do with the barbell, right? I'm not reaching my chest down. I am sitting down with the hip, right? Bending the knee. Now, if that doesn't feel good, okay, we could stick with, right, a leg lifted variation or balancing a little more, right? Which is not great for me, but you get the idea. And the way you carry your dumbbell or dumbbells or whatever is up to you. Okay, so you're doing 6 per side, either increasing weight across your sets as much as humanly possible. That's reasonable, or you are increasing range of motion. And this is she's not loved, Maxine. She's
Oh, I know.
so
It's such
abused.
a shame.
Her eyes are like this. um, she has her first one is the starts licking her lips. That's sign 1. Nice work, y'all. 6 per side. Now, if you need to, in fact, I encourage it. If you need to take a break, right? You can set a timer if you're running a watch. I would say rest at least 45 seconds, maybe a minute.
That's forever. Oh.
Nice job. With the deadlifts, again, increasing range of motion, we can lift the foot, keep the foot down. Yeah, these yoga mat is dead. That's okay though. I've had it for a couple of years now. I'm sure Joseph knows this. The yoga mats don't last very long in your house, do they? Not with the cat. At least ours likes to biscuit this one. Yeah. It's her specialty. Good. Take your time with these deadlifts. It's okay. She has her spot.
Dogs are no different.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I feel like though, I mean, maybe it's a different mechanism, but I'm not sure dog makes biscuits. Dogs?
We used to like to pull it apart with her claws or to the end.
Okay.
Others not. This one is that I actually got another one that they just didn't seem to like, and I was like, yes. So
Huh. That's odd.
yeah.
I'm no expert. What's the paintings where like the women are? There's like a style of painting where there's like the women are like lounging around and
They broke up now.
yeah, you kind of look like one
Or
right
like
now.
cherubs
Yeah.
and then clamshell.
Yeah.
Rubenesque.
Nikki kind of looks like a see? Kind of looks like
Your
he's
French girls.
Yep, he's Rubenesque.
it's it's the pose, it's the this would be a goblet of some kind, obviously, with some grapes on it. But
Yeah.
in case we have a cat instead. That's kind of goblet shaped. I don't know, just feels important to share what's happening over here because it's
I love it.
You're just trying to humanize yourself so we're not like F you while we're doing it. Anyway.
You can't be angry at her. She's already being abused, okay?
Yeah.
She's already upset.
We
You made
feel
her.
the same. We are also tortured by Coach Kirstie, but we signed up for this.
Yeah, she didn't sign up for the cone. So I think there's a difference here. She didn't sign up for the cones. Once you've hit, so I realize we're kind of at slightly different paces here. And if you're taking a longer break or not taking breaks, which I know some of you are not, which is fine. It's okay to, in fact, rest, whether it's for your nervous system, right? Okay, bend your knee instead of reaching your hand if you're going to increase range of motion. And if the weight's a bit distracting, because sometimes when you increase range of motion, it gets more complicated mechanically. It's okay to slow it down and maybe just, go like 1 inch lower, as opposed to many inches lower. And the way I think about it is the floor is kind of hot lava, like we're not trying to touch the floor. It's kind of, otherwise I tend to reach.
1 more set to go.
At least it's a convenient petting position. Usually she wants to be pet in the middle of the hallway, which is very convenient for all of us. Good. Nice job. Regardless of the foot's down or up, or you're adding weight or range of motion, you're going to lead with the hip on the deadlift. So the hip tells you where to go. Your butt's going back. Yeah. And you may rest between legs. So if you do right first, you can rest and then do left and vice versa.
Yeah.
Nice job, y'all. I know we're kind of at slightly different paces, so just work at your own.
I'm just gonna go with being lopsided.
Removing one set is not going to make, if you remove one set every single time, you might be lopsided. Once, no, it's not so bad.
Also, so just balancing on 1 foot with the ankle hurt. It's not torsion, it's even just standing on it.
Yeah.
I can stand on it, so
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So I've been, yeah, I was just doing like a lesser range of motion.
Okay.
Perfect. That's good, right? If you're listening to that, even let's say even if you didn't roll your ankle, your ankle's stiffer on that leg, right? My left ankle is stiffer than my right. My range of motion is going to differ on certain things, like a Bulgarian split squat. So we're respecting that range of motion and letting that be my control when I'm doing this. Okay, my friends. So we're going to take a well-deserved break while I explain the final portion here, and then we'll get rolling with it. We have fire hydrants. We've done this before. It's also one of those movements. You're like, oh yeah, I've seen that before. So essentially we have, again, our tabletop position. We can adjust this or reset. I'm aware of a lot of tabletop happening right now, but we're going to be in a tabletop position, and I'm going to go ahead and take my right leg and then kick it out to the side. My goal is not to kick it up, okay? I want to keep this activation to here. So if I lift my leg up too high, it's going to end up being a low back exercise. Here is kind of this, I guess, abduction. Here, all right, I'm doing 10 per direction, right? Your range of motion might be smaller than you expect. And then after that, we have 10 per leg. Offset reverse lunge steps. Offset just means we're carrying the weight opposite of our lunging leg. So if I'm lunging, and let's say I'm lunging with my right leg, I'm going to put the weight in my left hand. So I'm going to say 10. I realize my athletes who've done lunges already, we can change this. But stepping backwards, right, this is my offset. Okay. 10 per side there. And then we have alternating weighted dead bugs. The weight is optional, but if you can weight them, let's do that. And the weight is going to be, again, not particularly heavy, but enough where we can have my weight here. I'm braced, knees over hips, and then instead of moving it hands different one hand at a time, I have my one. So range of motion is as much as I can keep this braced. Right. If we need to just dead bug it, no weights, that's fine. For my athletes who have already done lunges, right, and that's on part A, the first part, we can goblet squat instead because we've done a bajillion lunges already. Okay. If you don't have any questions, go ahead and get started. If you do have questions, please don't be afraid to ask those questions. You're starting with 10 per leg fire hydrants. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you do it opposite order, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You'll get there eventually. Yeah, good. If you have I don't have one of these, but if you have like a PT band, you could put it around your knees. They're a bit of a pain to put on, to be honest, so.
Let's face it, the sideline banded clamshell we did last week, been in a different position.
Exactly. Speaking of, Arisa, if you want to do a sideline clamshell instead, as in puffy knees, painful knees, similar exercise. In this case, it's going to be a side plank or sideline position.
Thank you.
Yeah. And this can lateral. So we're putting pressure here, not, if you fell on the top of your knee.
It's only like near, where I landed on my knee.
No, yeah. It's just where if it's like you landed here,
Yeah.
right, or somewhere on this range, this is going to be pressure on the outside of the leg. So it should feel less
Oh, okay.
affected. If it doesn't, there's other options.
Okay. Already did that side. All right.
Yeah. You just do the opposite side.
Okay.
If you do the step ups, we can do the lunge steps. If you've done a bajillion and a half lunge steps, it is okay to change this to goblet squats instead.
Or we could do thrusters and field them for 3 days.
You can also, I didn't do this today. There is a press from a hollow position. So it's like a bench press, or a floor press, except you have to be in a hollow position shape while pressing. And I feel like Meg would just leave the meeting if she saw that one. So
I did all those hollow body rocks.
I know. And I got a text message with explicit language in it later that week.
It's not made for kids.
That message was not made for kids. That is correct.
Already check that box, wouldn't we?
But I laughed out loud when I received it. My client's like, what? I was like, no, don't worry about it. Very important message from a friend.
Athlete feedback.
It was athlete feedback. It was, let's put it was honest. Uncensored. Nice job. And if the weight for the dead bugs feels more distracting than helpful, you can just not do them, right? Like as in take the weight out and do a good old fashioned dead bug, remove the hands.
Oh, you mean I could say, hey, I got my dead bugs outside and I'll be right back?
Yes. Just make sure to bring back a cup of coffee once you come back.
Sounds good.
Nice job. Resting between movements, between sides, if you're doing a per side movement. or at the end of each round is welcome. But I want you to pick a spot to stop for like 15 to 20 seconds at least.
Wait, so fast comments don't count as a rest?
They count. I mean, you joke, but I've been mentioning this because I feel like depending on who's watching and what weights you have available, traditionally you'd increase weights per set on like a deadlift or squat or press shape. But because a lot of us are limited in our weight choice, we use rest times, increased or decreased rest times to change the intensity of something. So decrease rest times, increase the intensity. Increase rest times, decrease that, right? And so instead of saying, hey, add weight, rest longer. In this case, it's like maybe you rest less yeah. So if you're in a gym setting or you have a full like home gym and you're deadlifting hundreds of pounds, this is where like, hey, rest a full 2 minutes, that kind of stuff. When you're doing those deadbugs, keep the low back nice and close to the ground. Rib cage is tucked towards the belly button, so down, not up. And if that range of motion needs to vary, as in decrease to do so, that's okay. Good. Nice job. Nice job, y'all. Working our way through a total of 3 sets.
I think that was 3 sets. Was it 3 sets?
I think I'm for, but I'm not sure, so I'm still doing.
I mean, if
They're done.
you're not doing an extra round,
If he's still going, I'm probably still going, because he's always just a tad faster than me.
I will say whatever, if you feel like you did 3 sets, Maxine, call it, that's fine. I'm not gonna,
Yeah, I so overdid it last week. I was so sore.
yeah. Then in which case, even if you do 2 of 3 sets, that's fine. We also did a ton of single leg work today, right? I said a fair amount of single leg, right? So between step ups or lunges, single leg deadlifts, all of it slightly different muscle groups, slightly. And then the offset lunge steps or goblet squats, legs will be a little heavy. That's okay. Also, your first session back, Maxine, is not supposed to feel like
Yeah.
it's just gonna hurt a little more because your body had some time off.
Yeah. It was like, what are we doing?
Yeah, which is, I mean, time off is a good thing for your body. It takes it like, cool, that's nice. Good. We have, where I know some of us are finishing, right? It's okay to find yourself just sort of taking breaks between things. Not this very second, Maxine, but later today, if you're seated, right? You can kind of cross your leg over or get a little stretch here, but You could do that seated on like a proper 90-degree angle, or you can lie down and do it. But that'll be nice for the sort of lateral hip, the stabilizers of that hip. Is
I
it?
mean, if I just laid down in my office and did that and just people walk by, I'd be like, what do you do?
I mean,
I think I might do that.
if you're able to lay down in your office, hell yeah. See, I was always the assistant of that person. I couldn't lay down because I would be fired for laying down. But if you're in a position where you can just lay down, yes, I support this decision.
Would never fire someone for laying down and stretching.
I don't think I'd be
I'm
fired.
joining you.
I don't think I'd be fired, but I think it would.
I know what you mean.
It would be frowned upon. I think that's the language of their use.
Yeah.
This is what Zoom calls are for, like big Zoom meetings. Oh, I'm just gonna do a little mobility here. I'm listening. I'm active listening.
As long as you're not presenting the meeting, because you're not leading it and just being like, so yeah, you're not just like stretching. My friends, we are distinctly early, which is
That's because we didn't F around for 20 minutes.
that's true. We only talked for like 5.
It's true.
Although your records can say otherwise. Friends, so I will happily stay on for another 10 minutes to do some stretching, some catch up if you want to continue chatting, addressing any kind of aches, pains, discomfort you've been feeling, even in day-to-day stuff, if you want an extra 10 minutes on your day. I wish you a lovely rest of your week. And all joking aside, your feedback is welcome. If it's going to be explicit, just make sure it's kind of funny and not directed. I mean, around me, but not at me. Okay. So it's okay to have feedback, but you know.
Wait, now I have to go and review my text from last week to see if it was, it meant to be around.
It was. I felt that. It didn't feel personal. Although there were all capitals in there. All caps.
That's classic Meg though. All caps.
There were a few all caps words. Maybe laugh out loud though. So it's all good things. But your feedback is welcome. And I will see y'all next
Sometimes it affects my next workout, or I'm like, oh yeah, that was more than I thought it was.
We can
Thank
go.
you, Kirstie. I gotta go run.
Bye.
Bye. I have to go do intervals. Bye.
Bye everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm having coffee first though. Bye.
Coffee first. Of course it is.
Oh,
Hey, Arisa.